We've got a lot of music, and we're not afraid to use it.
Would you say I have a plethora?
A what?
A plethora.
Oh, yes. You have a plethora.
What is a plethora?
Why?
Well, you told me I have a plethora, and I just would like to know if you know what a plethora is. Jefe, what is a plethora?
Texas Homegrown Radio and Dallas On Air. There's just one thing you should know about Nashville.
You know what? You're nuts. You're all nuts. You've been focused so hard on making it, you forgot about one little thing. It's called the music. And I don't even care. You know what? So what? I don't want to hang out with a bunch of wannabe corporate sellouts, and we are going to start a revolution.
Go forth and multiply. These songs are yours. Texas Homegrown Radio.
This is a revolution.
Again, we need your vote. Jody Lee and Texas Homegrown Radio. On the original, first positively, only Billboard charting, real artist winning.
Oh, Willie!
What are they gonna do? Shoot me? Texas Music Award Show. Vote Texas Homegrown Radio on TRRR.
Others claim to be the originator. Sure. Often imitated, never duplicated. Texas Homegrown Radio.
It's the morning ride. Live from the Rockstar Ranch at Texas Homegrown Studios, it's the morning ride.
Hey, I'm Corey Kent, and you're on the morning ride with the one and only Jody Lee.
Who?
Hey everybody, I'm Terry McBride here on the morning ride.
Name sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Welcome in. It is the morning ride right here on Texas Homegrown Radio. Live from the Rockstar Ranch in Texas Homegrown Studio. Oh, yeah. That makes me think of the Kool-Aid guy when you do that. Watch out for Punchy. He'll get you every time.
He's my cousin, you know.
The Kool-Aid guy. There is a football player, and his first name is Kool-Aid.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Kool-Aid?
His real name is Kool-Aid.
Wow. There's a lot of thought going into that name, huh?
Hey, at least his parents were creative.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure they weren't just making Kool-Aid like, what we gonna name his baby? Kool-Aid.
I like it. I wish my name was Kool-Aid.
Someone needs cool, will be Kool-Aid.
It could have been Tang.
Oh, man.
The morning ride brought to you by some great sponsors like Triple Crown, Ford, and Lincoln.
That's right. Get on down to the Triple Crown.
You know they'll treat you right. Also brought to you by Cannonball Insurance Solutions.
Cannonball! Nice.
That was a good one today.
That was a good one.
Even through the fog. The morning ride brought to you by Double D Barbecue and Catering. That's out in Bluffdale, Texas, Mr. Dana Deathridge.
That's right. Barbecue so good you don't need no teeth to chew.
I mean, but it does help sometimes if you have teeth. You don't need them, but you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't eat the bones.
You know
But you could.
that's why they say that the toothbrush was invented in Arkansas, right?
Oh, no.
If it was invented anywhere else, it would have been a teeth brush.
Not Louisiana.
We don't want that last one falling out. The morning ride brought to you by Brazos River Air Conditioning. If you need an AC,
Cold Wheezy.
find out more about them online at brazosriverac.com or give them a call, 817-864-1412.
That's right.
Brought to you also by Wiley Disposal.
Is your trash in a piley?
Call Wiley.
Don't lose your smiley.
Gets me every time.
Me too,
And
buddy.
brought to you by Beverly Gosden Jenkins, the A-Team.
Because if you want the cream of the crop,
Gotta rise to the top.
call the A-Team.
You know what I mean, Vern? Speaking of the devil, speaking of the angel, there's Miss Beverly Gosden Jenkins.
She's awesome.
Just logged on.
Top of the morning to yous.
We love us some Miss Beverly.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Jose. He says, morning, brothers. And Billy Hill. Where's he been?
I don't know. Under a rock, I guess.
I thought he was like, where in the world is Bobby Texas? Is like, where?
Where in the world is
Damn
Billy
it,
Hill?
Bobby. If you put them two together, that's what you get.
Billy?
And if you put them two together, that's what you get. I actually went to a restaurant one time. We were coming back from a concert, and I don't remember where it was, somewhere up in Metroplex, the Metro Mess, and we'd stopped at this, I think it was a Mexican restaurant or something, but it was a chain.
Yep.
But the manager, they had a big plaque on the wall, and the manager was Bobby Hill. I was like, this is too good.
It's too much. Was it in Arlen, Texas?
And the waiter was really funny about it because as I kept doing, King of the Hill stuff, and he's like, yeah, we've never heard that before. I was like, come on, it's funny. He goes, oh, yeah, we do it to the boss all the time.
Dad. Is there a real Arlen, Texas?
Sometime, I don't know. Probably.
I always wondered if there's an actual Arlen, Texas.
They did a pretty good job of Texas, you know what I mean? Like they pretty much cover
they really do.
Yeah.
Just saying, man.
Don't you know somebody that knows Mike Judge?
Yeah. My good friend, Mr. Scott Matthews, he come play drums for me a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
We became buddies, and it was actually his idea for that tour, Tales from the Tour Bus deal.
Really?
He was talking to Mike, and he was like, man, you ought to do something like this. And then he's like, the next week, the show had started. Like he already had it going, filming it, and starting to get it ready.
That's funny.
Yep, that's how it works.
I love those shows.
Man, it's
Tales from the Tour Bus.
It's the best.
I bet Beverly could do some of those.
I guarantee it. Yeah. Heck yeah. I just wish they hadn't stopped. It kind of veered off. It started in the outlaw country, and then it ended up in the funk.
Those got really weird.
Yeah, those guys were out there.
But my favorite, I think, was the Johnny Paycheck ones.
Yeah. My favorite, of course, was the Waylon ones.
They were all pretty good. And Billy Joe.
Yeah. I feel like the Billy Joe Shaver and the Waylon ones should have been one episode, though.
Yeah, they were intertwined.
They really were.
Good morning, Holly. Yes, she said, can we hear some Davin James? I'll put some on when we go to break.
Absolutely.
And good morning, Teresa Sullivan. How are you?
Top the morning to you.
She said, morning, guys, and mama. That's what to call Miss Beverly.
That's right.
Let's see what national holidays it is today so we know what to celebrate. How about?
Mm-hmm.
See if they're as good as they were yesterday. This one's good. This one kind of encompasses us, I think.
Yeah.
Because Maura posted something after we made that video yesterday with the singing deer. Yeah, no one has more fun. Well, it's National Fun at Work Day today.
Dude, yeah, I'll celebrate.
So everybody can have fun at work today.
Yeah.
National Fun at Work Day.
I love that.
And the next one I wish I'd have known, but I didn't. National Big Wig Day.
Oh, man.
I think they did that for Dolly. And a Dolly Parton wig.
I said, I know ain't she cool. That's the kind I dig.
So, National Fun. I guess if you want to have fun, wear a big wig to work today. I wish I'd have known that.
Wish I would have worn my court wig that I usually wear when I go to court. My big curly white wig,
Your George Washington wig?
Yeah, man.
That's weird those guys used to wear those. It's
because they were all bald.
Yeah, but...
It's because they shaved their heads because of lice. Lice was so bad that, a lot of people shaved their heads back then and just wore a wig.
And they were like, lice, lice, baby.
Are they in my wig? Maybe.
It's National Green Juice Day. You ever drink some green juice?
No. That sounds, green juice.
Healthy, yeah.
Yes.
It's all those vegetables. Yeah. It's National Spouses Day.
All right. If you're watching, darling, I love you.
And a big hit in Heiko, it is National Peanut Brittle Day.
Peanut brittle?
Yeah.
Come on.
Remember that kid that was going to beat me up? Have his dad beat me up because I didn't have any peanut brittle?
Give me some peanut brittle. I don't got no peanut. What?
That was back in the 90s.
Who just walks around with peanut brittle?
Yeah. This kid came up and he's like, you better give me some peanut brittle. I'm like, kid, you need to go on.
I don't have no
He's
peanut
like,
brittle.
my dad'll kill you. I'm like,
Over peanut brittle?
Yeah. But I did think, I have a problem with my bones lately. I don't know if it's all the medicine I take for my heart or something, but I break my ribs all the time. I could sneeze and break a rib. I could cough, break a rib.
That's crazy, man.
Like, weird things make my bones break. But I thought about changing my radio name to Peanut Brittle. Because it sounds redneck, but it also describes my condition.
But you should be jalapeno peanut brittle since we're in Texas.
Jalapeno business?
Yeah. Speaking of jalapenos, I was just wondering, like, what kind of wolves do you think they put in Wolf Brand chili?
Didn't you ever dream about that?
I did. It just redawned on me. Is it timber wolf? Is it black wolf?
I don't think they put actual wolves in Wolf Brand chili anymore.
Oh.
Once they went endangered.
Oh. You sure? Maybe they'd moved to coyotes.
What gets me is all these people, these PETA people. And they made them reintroduce all the wolves to the wild. And then they're all crying because they're killing all the deer and the elk. And
see, what I want to know is, look, all right, these PETA people, all right? So you made a certain kind of bread. What makes you think you can tell me what to do with animals? All right? You made PETA bread. Cool.
No, it's spelled different. It's PETA, people eating tasty animals.
Oh.
That's what it stands for.
So it's not the PETA pocket, the PETA bread stuff.
So did you hear about this at the Fort Worth Stock Show? The PETA people were going and letting out all the heifers and stuff and untying them and letting them loose.
Why?
Because they're being...
No, where was that?
This is the Fort Worth Stock Show.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the PETA people went in and were letting the animals go. And I'm like...
That's grounds for divorce in Texas.
I'm like, how is that saving the animals? They're going to run across, the interstate and get hit by a truck?
Go free in your natural environment in this metropolitan area. It's just like driving down the highway and you just see this freaking, like a scene from Bubble Boy with the cow in the middle of the road. Split two. Thanks, you bread people.
Yeah, you're not helping the situation.
It's like if Rice-A-Roni went and freaking tried to be, started a dude ranch. You know what I'm saying?
I have a friend. He does I used to carry his show back when I had the FM station, but he does like a hunting show and stuff. And his merch was awesome. At the Hunters Extravaganza, I ran into him and he had a picture of a deer. And it was taking a poop in a garden. It says, "My food poops on your food."
That's awesome. Is that? I feel like that's like a chess move, I see you a sprout and raise you a turd.
Well, the way I look at it, I always heard you are what you eat, right? And so if you got a big steer or a bull that's eating grass and you are what you eat, they're grass, right? So if I eat a steak, I'm basically eating the vegetable.
Exactly.
I am a vegetarian.
I eat all manner of different things that eat grass. I seen a rabbit the other day at my place, though.
I went on a date with a vegetarian one time.
Oh, yeah?
You did too, didn't you? We have stories about that.
Oh, yeah.
And because I was going to order a steak, she goes, "Oh my God, like, how do you eat steak?" I said, "Medium rare."
No, I had this girl take me out to this lady I was dating. She was quite a bit older than me, so she went and picked me up. And I was like 18 at the time. And she came pick me up and was going to take me out. And I was like, okay, all right, let's go. She'd take me to this Thai restaurant. And I'm like, I like Asian
You had to
food.
You had to wear a tie?
Yeah. I was like the Asian ties.
Ah, I gotcha.
And so I went to this
Thai.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
except for with food.
Gotcha.
So I had to go down there to this Thai restaurant with her, this Thai food restaurant. I'm thinking like, okay, I get down on some, I don't know, General Tso's chicken or something, I get in there and it's only vegetarian food, and she gets me. She's like, "I'm gonna get you something. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great." I'm like, okay. And they bring me some food, but it ain't food. It's like this gelatinous lump that looks like something that was like made in a mold. It had square edges on it. It was cylindrical. Turned out it was something called tofu.
Tofu?
Is that what it's?
Tofu.
Tofu. Yeah, it smelled like stinky socks, and I accidentally dropped it on the floor. I was like, "You got any of that Tsingtao beer? Here, bring me some of that." Beer's bread. It's not meat.
Yeah.
That was our only date.
Yeah, I only went on that one. She ordered me a vegetarian burger, right? And so I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So on my way to the bathroom, I catch the waiter. I'm like, do not bring me a vegetarian burger. He goes, you want a real burger, don't you? I'm like, yes. I said, I want it like medium. And he goes, okay. So he brings it out, and she had gotten a vegetarian burger too. And you could tell my burger did not look like that burger at all. And I'm eating it, and there's like, red juice running down my hand. And she goes, isn't it good? It tastes just like a real burger. I was like, I can't tell the difference. Like, it is. She's like, well, yours kind of looks different than mine. I'm like, I don't know. That's the thing with vegetarian burgers,
Mine's got ketchup.
Depends on the vegetables they put in it. Like,
mine's got ketchup. It's organic ketchup.
It was terrible. It was so bad. It was the worst date ever.
Oh, man. I've had a few of those. I've had quite a few of those worst dates ever.
Yep.
Yep.
Glad those days are over.
Yeah. I do not miss it, bro. Some strange people in this world. You figure that out when you're in a dating pool, that there's some strange people walking around in this planet.
Oh, man. I don't know how people do the dating apps, the Tinder and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. I always thought more people were going to get murdered from doing stuff like that. Yeah. Like,
I mean, if I'm going to do some catfishing, I want to actually go to a tank,
Yep. So, like when me and my wife first met, like, I wanted to get off on the right foot with her, I was like, I don't want her to have false expectations of me, So I was like, for our first date, I was like, we're gonna go do something I like to do. So, there's this old mountain range out there. It's called the Click Gap in Llano County, and I spent a lot of time working out there. And so it's kind of my old stomping grounds. So there's all these creeks and stuff that stem off of the Big Sandy out there. One of them's called Comanche Creek, and it's way back in there.
Oh, that's the one you used to put in all your songs.
I was on a love song writing kick, so I was trying to fit the one that was gonna fit that in there, So, but anyways, so we ended up down there, and I was like, you gotta leave your car up here at the top of the road and jump in my truck because you can't get down this road. And it's about 30 miles back in here, and it's all dirt. So she leaves her car up there, jumps in my truck, and we're driving down. And you don't get no service back there or nothing because it's down in a low spot next to a mountain range,
Yeah.
Texas mountains. We're not talking about Everest here, but still. And so we get out there, and we're talking, and we're having good conversations, and we're drinking beers, and I'm like, hey, I want to show you this creek down here. So we get out. And we're walking, and then all of a sudden we hear this noise, and I'm like, oh, I better grab something. So I go back to the truck, and I was thinking I could grab a gun, but that might freak her out. So instead, I reach under the seat, and I got my homemade buck knife with a
that's not creepy at all.
With an antler handle, and I stuff it in my belt, and I start walking
towards her.
This
is your first date?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And I start walking towards her, and I could see the look in her eyes changed from like, this is going to be a great date to, why the hell's he got a giant Bowie knife? And I'm like, all right, baby, here we go. And so, like, we start walking, and we're walking down this county road, and I left my truck up here in this spot where I used to clean deer. And, yeah, this is sounding pretty bad.
Now that you say it out loud.
And so we start walking down there, and, like, there ain't supposed to be nobody else out there, right? But I start hearing something down there, and then I hear a scream. And it sounded like probably like a bobcat or something like that, or like a rabbit getting eaten or something like that. But it was freaky. But I seen this little flashing light down at the bottom of this, gulch, and there shouldn't have been a light down there at all. There's nobody out there but us. And I'm thinking like, oh, crap. there might be somebody out here messing with us. And she's thinking, she tells me this later, she's thinking, oh, that's his buddy, and he's taking me. They just killed their last victim, and now I'm next, you know. But instead of going down there like, hey, but let's get back to the truck. And she's like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So we roll back to the truck, and, you know, we cruised around for the rest of the night and ended up at a different creek, and we went down there and started shooting snakes and stuff. And it was a great date. But she told me later, she's like, you know, I thought for sure I was a statistic at that point. And you were going to murder me and leave me down in that gulch. So, word to the wise, gentlemen. Think about it before you take her on a date doing stuff you like.
Maybe it worked out for you, though.
That's very true. But, you know, if she'd have had cell service, we might have had a mishap.
Yeah.
There might have been
I know
police.
He's a little different. That's what I like about him. He dresses like a complete dork. He chews with his mouth open.
Well, maybe that gives you an idea of the kind of woman I married.
She's awesome, man. I tell you what, she's a better shot than I am, you know, in a pinch. Like, I swear, that girl freaking hit a bullseye every time.
You better behave then.
Uh-huh. And I just bought her a new gun, too.
Oh, yeah, what were you thinking?
She wouldn't shoot me with my gun?
If I'm going to die, it won't be by my gun. My God.
Yep. Pretty much. Oh, she's awesome, man.
I might want it to be my own gun. You know what I mean? Use the big one. I don't want to be me. I don't want to be like, you know, crippled. Just go ahead and finish me off. Like, use the big one.
Okay, so in my closet, there's an elephant gun on the top shelf.
I'm just gonna hold this tannerite right here.
You remember that blunderbuss?
And then
Use that.
Then they could tell people at my funeral I had blue eyes. One blue this way, one blue that way. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Good morning, Dusty.
After morning, Tease.
Teresa says we're Twazy. We're not even crazy. We got our own word with Teresa. It's Twazy.
Heck yeah.
Well, I wonder what that really stands for.
I don't know.
Terribly crazy? Twazy? That might be my new alias, Patrick Twazy.
Right on. I like it. Aliases, they make the world go round.
Yep.
Like I couldn't call myself Tater Salad because that was already taken.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But I call myself Hot Potato.
Ron White did get on that.
Yeah. Or Baked Potato.
I wonder if his kids were the Tater Tots.
They sure were. I call myself Baked Tater.
Finally caught you. Finally caught the tater.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I miss old Ron White. He still does stuff, but it's not the same. He was more fun when he was drinking on stage and smoking cigars.
I'm glad that he's not dead,
did
though.
that ayahuasca stuff, like
ayahuasca tea.
Yeah, ayahuasca. That deal where you go in like the sweat lodge and they give you like some kind of drugs.
Oh yeah, ayahuasca tea or something like.
There's like a Aaron Rodgers. Basically, I think that's what it is. I had a roommate. I went to taxidermy school right out of high school when I was trying to decide if I wanted to be a DJ or have a real job, you know. And I thought, well, taxidermy I could do on the side, you know. So I went to taxidermy school for a month in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That was an experience.
Yeah, it was.
But my roommate, he was a Vietnam vet, and he was telling me about his buddy in the war was an Indian guy, and he said that he did peyote with him for the first time. He said, what you do is you dig a hole, and you do the peyote, and then you throw up in the hole, and you cover it up, and that's like getting all your spirits out of your body. He said, so my buddy does it, and he's like, and covers it up. He said, I was puking for like 20 minutes. He said, evidently I had a lot of demons. He said, I never wanted to do that ever again. He said, my buddy was just like, no big deal. And yeah, he said, whew. He said it was something. It was an experience.
The thing about it is when you throw up, you immediately start going into the nether regions.
You start seeing things. Go on your vision. Did you see the size of that chicken?
I threw up all over myself.
Did you say that? Did you see the size of that chicken?
No.
We're in the spirit world.
Yeah, we're in the spirit world. No, but I had to spend the rest of the time that I was in that realm, completely covered with my own vomit.
The worst part about being in that
I would be 16 again.
That taxidermy school, I was 18, never been out of Stephenville really on my own. And I flew to this place. And I was in the ghetto of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh my God!
And it was right when the OJ trial.
The Lions did.
It's right when the OJ trial was going on. Like we watched it every day after we did our stuff in class. And so I'm like, I'm gonna die. But my roommate was this Vietnam vet, and he was a big, tall guy, and he carried a .44 mag.
Of course he did.
Like Dirty Harry. And I'm asleep one night, and I wake up and I'm cold, and the door was open to our room. And he was over on the other bed pointing this gun at me. And like he was asleep. And they say don't wake him up, right? So I don't know what to do. And I'm just laying there. And he was like, shh, don't move. So I'm looking out the door and I'm looking at him. And I'm looking out the door and I'm looking at him. And he's like, don't move. They're coming. And I'm just laying there like, don't know what to do. Okay. So he's like having this like nightmare dream thing that he's still in the war, and he'd open the door hoping that the crack house next door, that some of the people would come in so he could shoot them. This is really what happened. I found out the next day, but he told me he goes, yeah, I don't have bad dreams like I used to, nightmares. I'm like, are you kidding? Like you're screaming and waving a gun around and pointing at me.
He's like, oh no, I knew what I was doing.
He goes, oh no, it used to be a lot worse till I got the pills I'm on now. And I'm like, what? But he didn't remember any of it.
Wow.
The only thing that he said he remembered was thinking, if before he went to sleep, he thought, I should open that door and see if some of those crackheads will come in and then I could shoot them. But we had to walk to the grocery store to get our food. It was about 3 blocks from the school because I flew there. I didn't have a ride, right? And we're there, and they have a big kitchen. You got to buy your own food.
A white boy walking
so
through
the ghetto. It was the ghetto. Yeah. And so I just put on my oldest clothes. Before he got there, I had to go by myself, and I put on my oldest clothes, and I walked through the streets, and I would just look over at people, and I'd growl like a dog, and like because they were yelling at me, and I didn't want them stealing my groceries, and so I just go. And so they wouldn't even look at me, like no one, like they were sound like some pretty bad looking people, and they didn't want to mess with me. And then we were sitting there the next day after I was doing that. I was sitting there, we were cutting on animals and stuff, doing taxidermy work, and somebody broke into a car middle of the day, broke into this one guy that was at the school, was a judge from Mississippi, and had a Cadillac sitting there, and they broke into it while we were sitting there. Like, I mean, it was like right outside the door. You could see the front of the car, and the car just drives off. And I'm like, hey, Billy, I think someone just took your car.
Was that your Cadillac car?
Yeah, gone. I mean, it was not a good area, let's just say. Well. But, I was glad when my roommate got there, because then I went to the grocery store. He walked with me with his .44 mag, and I didn't have to bark no more. But I remember watching the OJ trial, and I was sitting there going, please be innocent, please be innocent, please. Because there was rumors everybody was going to riot down there, if he was guilty. So instead of that, it was the biggest party ever, man. There was people partying everywhere around. It was like a whole big deal. That OJ thing, I'll never forget it.
Oh, yeah, let's all celebrate that this guy got
I was celebrating.
Cutting his wife's head off, right.
I saw a meme.
He makes jokes about it. Like, before he went back to prison, like, he's on a lot of shows and stuff like that, and he'd, like, play pranks on people where he'd knock on their door and be there with a knife.
You just got to go with it, I think, at that point.
Man, I tell you what.
I saw a meme of him, like, he had that face, and he's in court, and he's like, and I saw this guy, and he said, when too many guys start messaging my wife on Facebook, I just send them this picture.
For real.
Oh, look at there. There's Misty Cox from Louisiana.
Top the morning.
She must have heard me talking about Louisiana, about Baton Rouge.
Louisiana.
She's the other Misty Cox. Good morning, Dusty. Dusty Star Williams. We got some of his music coming up. I love that song he's got out, Everything Daddy Told Me. Word. I got that coming up in the break. And I got some Davin James for Holly. So
come on.
So we'll do that. We're going to take a break. We might even talk to Sunny Day today. It's been a week or so since we talked to Sunny.
Where he's been.
Who knows?
He hadn't been calling in.
It's probably because the fog.
Probably.
It is pretty foggy out there.
It's sleepy weather,
I saw a bad wreck this morning. It was bad.
Not good.
Yeah. And the police were not doing a good job of blocking the road. I mean, I came over a hill, and then there was just ambulances and cops everywhere. No one even stopped me. Just drove right through it all.
Wow. I hope everybody's all right.
Yeah, me too. Be careful out there in this foggy weather. But, yeah, we're going to take a break. And like I said, I got some good stuff coming up. Some of the A-Team music coming up your way with Dennis Element, and got some Dusty Star Williams. So be sure to listen. If you're listening or if you're just watching, you can listen and hear all the great music, too. Go to our website. You got all the links right there at TexasHomegrownRadio.com. You can listen live, or you can watch us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live.
And remember, folks, when you're driving out there in the fog today, remember this: 18-wheelers can't stop on a dime.
Or a nickel. Stick around. We got more coming your way. It's the Morning Ride right here on Texas Homegrown Radio and live from the Rockstar Ranch at Texas Homegrown Studios.
Get into it.